Hey.
Hey, kids! It's me, Johnny Fox. I'm here again, 2 days in a row. This is really tiring, but it's so much fun. Um, Tonight, you can already see we're one step ahead of you. No tech gremlins today. Um, the one, the only, the wonderful Lexi Whiteside. Yeah, they're all. That's what they're all doing at home. We can't hear them, but we know they're doing it. They're out in the seats. It's going nuts. It's like fucking WrestleMania out there. I'm sure something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do what I always do. I'll just hand it right over to you. You tell the kids at home a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
No pressure then. I should have prepared earlier. But no, my name's Lexi Whiteside. So singer-songwriter, go out gigging, doing a lot of covers. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do these days. I've been lucky enough to do it all around the world as well. So yeah, I'm just lucky.
Right. Okay. Let's go with the basics. So, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been performing?
I don't know if I want to admit how long. No, I started performing when I was 14, so yeah, it's some time ago now.
All right.
And yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was 10, so yeah, I just love it. I love music, so
So have you been? So you're currently performing solo.
yeah. So that's been like
Yeah.
that's a much newer thing. So that started during I did dabbled a little bit, but mainly played in bands before. But then COVID struck, and I decided to do one of these things live, and that were it. I just thought, well, you can't play with anyone when you.
And how do you? It's a very different dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah,
When you do that.
very, very. Well, you haven't got anyone else to blame for when you mess up. Really, you just got yourself. You just go, oh, okay. But there's a beauty in that because I don't I rarely play the same song the same way, you know. So there'll be times where I can drop it out and like be talking over the top of certain parts, and if you're in a band, it'd be very hard to do that sort of stuff because you'd be like looking around at each other and they'd be like, "What are you doing, Lex?" So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what was the so way back when, however long ago that might be, um, what was the spark, or was it like was it just was it any sort of particular artist or whatever that really made you go, I want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like I used to. Again, this is giving me age away, I think, but I used to watch Top of the Pops. So used to see people on there, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I just be like fixated on it. I'm like, wow, I just really want to do that. And then for me, the game changer, I did get into Busted and all of that, and I saw them live, and I was like, oh my god, jumping around the stage and stuff. But for me, it was when I found the Jam, and
All
that was it.
right.
I was like, I sat and studied. I bought every DVD that I could get. I used to, I like just used to sit and watch them, and I'm like listen to the music, and that was it. That was all I wanted to do. I used to wear all mod gear, and at the age of like 14, yeah, I still love Paul Weller now and the Jam. So
No,
yeah,
that's good. That was that they was on a lot. My slightly older brother, he's born a mod, live a mod, die a mod, and the Jam are the greatest band to walk the earth ever. Um, so partly through that brotherly bond, and partly because I actually think they're quite good, but also anytime I hear them, I think of that guy, and he's a cool guy. So they're always it's always nice. It's always nice to hear people still playing them live as
yeah,
well.
yeah. It for me, like it was a passion. Like it's like the style, the passion, it's the noise that came out of a three-piece band was just
Mm.
each one of them really were fantastic at their what they did. Like, you know, Foxton on bass, you had like, you know, Buckler on drums. It was just insane. So yeah, I just, for me it was just everything about it, the passion, the image, the like jumping around on stage, the lyrics in well as lyric writing is just, oh, I love him.
It's great. So he said you're around the country, if not the globe, trotting around playing covers, but you do write a few of your own occasionally, right?
Yeah, so I'm lucky
You
at the
do give it
minute.
a whirl.
I'm currently in the studio working on my first album. So we're like going in. I gig at the weekend and then go into the studio, and I'm working with an incredible producer. He's just amazing, and it's so nice. We're just like bouncing off each other. I brought the songs in, but we're like, can we make them better? Can we like, how can we enhance this? Is it the right thing for my vocals? And just
Yeah.
a whole different vibe. So it is a different vibe to what I play live, really, because
Yeah.
what I
So
do live is
have you got friends or session players and other musicians for more of a band sound involved in that, or are you doing it digitally, or is it going to be an acoustic sounding album?
um no, we're going down more of an electro kind of vibe.
Okay.
So more of a, because I love a bit of London grammar, love a bit of well, house music is also what I mainly listen to these days, which is so not like what I play. But yeah, so it's more of the kind of like just working in the studio. I've got the odd like person that might play some bass and little bits and bobs, but no, predominantly it's going to be working on the computer, which
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun.
By all accounts, in my past life as a wannabe rock star, arguably, arguably, I don't know if anybody was watching, but arguably one of the better drummers I ever worked with was a French guy called Lap Top. um, never missed a beat, I
No.
tell you. But no, it was a different thing to know, like, you couldn't jam in anything. You couldn't like extend this middle eight and I'll go crowd surfing and shit or whatever, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. You had to just nail the song. But in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, it was great to have to do that. There was something I actually quite liked about that it was guaranteed to just be there and just go and just have it. It was all kind of punky 3 minute kind of tunes anyway. So just like blah, 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 done, great, it's fine. It actually worked quite well. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind at all.
Did you have to like use the like in ear like for the
Oh,
click?
oh God, no, no. We just pissed off the sound engineers trying to hook it up into the monitors all the time and have it blasting at us. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it also, that's the other difficulty. I mean, this is why I do the solo stuff, to be honest, because trying to sort out like several people's diaries, it's hard work, isn't it? Like at
it
least
really is.
so at least I've just got myself, and I'm like, oh, can I do that day? It's like the Grinch, in it. I have to
Yeah.
check in my own diary. Like, oh, I can't cancel dinner with me again. But it's that's the beauty of it. But I do often miss that kind of like, there's no connection like it. Like, when you, as a band, you just like lock in and you're like, oh my God, this feels so good.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the studio, it's the closest I've felt like that for a long time. So it's really exciting for me.
Oh,
It's
that's
like,
good. That's good.
yeah.
So when recording, see me being a very free spirited punk rock kind of a guy, doing that same small piece, like I get like vocally, even just doing that line, you're playing that one riff, playing those 4 bars, like over and over. And I maybe it's just the producers that I work with, I don't know, but my personal experience, it's like, talk about taking the fun out of like what was a really good jump around, exciting thing. and it's like I hate all these songs. By the time if we're just doing like a 4-track EP, it's like they're all crap. I hate them all. We're never playing them again.
I'm
That
like,
wasn't
step away
really
and
for
leave
me.
it for a bit. I've done that. I've definitely had that. Although my first band, we weren't that professional. It was kind of like we did it very live. It was very like record it live. That's it. Vocals is always the one that you have to redo about 100 times. So like out of them all, it's like wow. And you'll never be fully happy because you like still hear like notes and go, oh,
Well, if you can sing like you can, if you just go, oh, it's punk rock, I'll just shout at everybody, it'll be fine. I get away with that. I didn't really have that issue. But if you can sing and you want to sing and you know you can do it, then yeah, I imagine you do hear things and think, I could do that better.
yeah, you're like, oh, that note. Could we have done that? Oh, could we have
Yeah.
gone elsewhere with that vocal? But it's. I think it was Rick Rubin. I read and watch quite a bit of his stuff, and he was saying like, with art, it's never finished. You just leave it at
No.
a certain point, and then sometimes you come back to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. No, so that's just very true. So when you're writing, let's dig into your writing a little bit. What are the do you have sort of what themes and inspirations do you write about? I mean, I'm sure like life in general, but if you could elaborate a little bit.
I feel like my smile paints a very different picture to what I write about, and it's like what I've released is very, little bits of more of the kind of more optimistic stuff, but I am very much a dark, deep, emotional, um, yeah, right about like kind of heartbreak a lot, which is, very singer-songwriter, but not just that, it's more about like just the deeper, darker emotions that live within us all, really. So yeah, and just questioning life and questioning your existence, questioning how the world works. Yeah, that's kind of the themes that I write about, I would
Yeah.
say.
Or hippies.
Yeah, hippie song. I mean, I wrote that when I was 12. Like, I was way more optimistic then. Probably a
Oh,
little angry as well, but
it's beautiful though. Okay, so you've been incredibly busy this month, like ridiculous. Like, if you don't know, if you want to go check out Lexi's socials, find out where she's been, where she's going to be over the next few weeks, get out and see her if you can. She won't be hard to find. She's probably gigging within 100 yards of you, probably in the next hour or so, most likely. Um, so to manage to find time for me is I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. He's
thank
been
you.
very, very, very busy.
Thank you for asking me though. Like it's always it's nice to connect to people and like yeah, I was like, I wonder what he looks like.
But seriously, that's been a ridiculous schedule. Is that you that and have to be fair, have you only yourself to blame for that? I mean, are
Absolutely.
you actively seeking these gigs? I mean, I'm sure you've been out there doing what you do, and more than renowned for it. That people will come to you.
No,
Um,
no, I'm the one. Despite the kind of stuff that you read on Instagram and stuff where they go, I don't chase, I attract. No, I very much chase. I'm like a total gig whore. If I'm not gigging, I'm like, what do I do with myself? What do I do? I'm like, oh, I have no idea. Weekend, and I think I had one Saturday off, and I was like,
yeah,
what do I do with myself here? So I only got back to the UK in March, so well, end of February. So I've just been like, I've missed it. I had a year in Australia where I gigged a little bit, and I was like so lucky with that, but I missed the regular gigs, so
yeah.
I've gone all out.
So So as a performer, you would do a bit of a mix,
Yeah.
the covers and throwing a few of your own in there, and yeah, I mean
It's
that's all good. That's all good, right? I mean, do you want to? Would you love to be so known for your own songs? Is that would you want to, you know, at some point be playing full sets
yeah.
of
Yeah.
yourself?
So that's what I'm working towards. That's my like goals and dreams and aspirations, because I love being on stage. If you meet me off stage, and this feels a bit like I'm still on stage a little bit, social
It is.
media does
It is.
us. But if you meet me off stage, I'm one of these. I'm like an old grandma. I like to sit with me cup of tea and not really talk, and I'm quite like introvert. But as soon as I
Yeah.
get on stage, I'm like, oh, I just like get me. I love it. But I there's something that when you are performing your own song, you just connect to it so differently to anything else. Like,
Yeah.
covers can unlock emotions, but for me, when I write songs, it's like a little time capsule of an emotion that I've had and an experience. And
Yeah.
so each time I play, it kind of like I'm more connected. But don't get me wrong, I love covers. For me, music is just purely about connection. I mean, we had music before we had fire, and it goes back to our like tribal. It's just a way of connecting and expressing, and I love it when it's live. It's like just I play the cheesy covers because I love to see the happy, smiley faces and people forgetting their worries and just singing, because singing just enables you to forget everything in that
Yeah.
moment. So
Yeah. I mean, look around you, kids. The world's on fire. Not to bury our heads in the sand, but to take an hour, go see a show, have a bit of a sing and a dance, push that reset button a little bit, maybe, and
yeah,
it's not the worst thing in the world, is it? Just
no,
just
and
to
then
forget it for a minute.
forget your worries, connect to a part of you. There's different musicians, there's different performances, there's different entertainers, there's different things. So someone might enable you to forget your worries because you're just having a laugh and having a good time. Some might evoke an emotion within you and make you cry. That's the beauty of it, is
Yeah.
just yeah.
So
And
I know from personal experience, it somewhat gets incredibly blurry the more gigs you do and the longer you do it. But have you had a, a, a favorite place? Has there been a standout moment? Has there been something that's
God, there's so many. Like
stuck with you?
it
Yeah.
sounds so. Like I say, a bit cheesy, but every single gig you can always pick something amazing from it. There has been a handful of gigs where I've like feared for my life at times. Like I'm like,
Okay.
what am I doing? Like,
Right.
you're like going,
Oh, no, there's a story there, and we all want to know.
no, I've just been like stood there and I'm like what's going off right now? Like I'm in this corner of this room and there's literally just yeah, as I have to say, sometimes as a female on your own, and not just female, but you know,
Yeah.
there are some times where you go, you like looking at the exit, going, "All right, if something kicks off in here, how am I getting out?" Because pubs don't sell just pop. It's and we all react very differently to different
Yeah.
forms of pop. So
So now I somewhat hesitate, but it's all part of the game to ask this. But have you ever, bombed? Have you ever been the lead balloon? Have
what that's
you ever
like.
just had people just drinking and talking over you and paying no attention and just really not giving? Maybe they're not booing and throwing things at you. Maybe they are. Has that happened? Or just
Ah,
you know.
I
Sure, you've
mean,
had shit gigs. Sure, you've had more than enough gigs at some of them. Might not be
oh,
your
I
fault.
mean, my
Through no
first
fault of your own, no doubt.
my, my first band, we've played to the bar staff, you know, like and even that I listen back to recordings of myself and I'm like, oh my god, that's awful. um, and yeah, I've done it on my own as well. I've literally played to the bar staff
Yeah.
and door staff, you know. So, but even then, you can either go, oh, you make a decision in when you're on that stage because my eyes are like Action Man, you know, like I like scanning the room all the time, and that's when I'm playing it. My mates have like gone. I look at videos of you, Lex, and you look scared. I'm like, it's not that I'm looking scared. I'm just like, I think in that moment in that video, my eyes are just like scanning the room to see what I can, like pick up on.
Yeah.
But I think you make a decision when you play and you're like, I can either get really disheartened right now that no one's listening, or you flip it and have a change of perspective and go, but how can we make this, the people that are here?
Mm.
I'm like, I've done it where I've literally played to the bar staff and I went, what sort of music do you like? They went, Oasis. So I've played an hour's worth of Oasis because it's like, well, I've got nothing to prove here.
Yeah.
It's just that make life fun.
Yeah.
I also realised I didn't answer your question about venues,
Oh, no.
even gigs.
Well, do we know? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What about is that what would be pure fantasy? Never mind the fact that you've got to be like Taylor Swift or whatever to get in these venues. Total like fantasy bucket list. Where would you love to play? Like at fucking Madison Square Garden. I don't know. Like go nuts. Is there
Glastonbury,
anywhere that you?
Glastonbury's the place. That's where
Is
that's
it still?
for me it is. It's
Yeah.
like that's my vision, my dream is like, just to play Glastonbury. I remember watching it like, on telly and all that, and I'm like, oh God, I want to play that. And I was, being a kid, like, oh. So that would be the dream. But I mean, for me, I'm really lucky. I got to play the Cavern, which
All right.
I like. Love the Beatles, of course, because they
I mean,
influenced Paul Weller so much. But
yeah.
yeah, I managed to play at the Cavern, like just as a like. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. My brain went. Just on a guest slot, but I think the dream for me would be to play the Cavern like in my own right, to
Yeah.
like be able to have my gig, have a gig there. It'd be,
Is
just
it?
phenomenal.
Is it not? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if you know, but does it not take the edge off a little bit that it's not really the Cavern, is it? The Cavern Club, the world famous Beatles um, haunt of old, where he's like on the other side of the road, a few doors down, and demolished some years ago. The Cavern of today, well, accurate, and it is what it is, but it's not the
No,
Cavern. Still a very cool thing to do, and
there's
still
something
a prestigious
crazy.
thing to get.
It's just something crazy about that place. It's like a TARDIS. You go down there, you have no idea what time of day
Yeah.
it is because it's so like it's down. It's just like it's mad. So, but yeah, I suppose it's not the original because of the fire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they moved it across the road. But I still, still like, oh, the Cavern, oh my God. I'm just like, you should have seen me before that gig. Like, my mates were like, Lex, because I have a thing like, when I'm nervous, I start checking time. So I literally had my phone out every 2 seconds checking. They're like,
Yeah.
just pass me that phone because you do me head in now. Like, you're all right. You're here. Just get on.
Yeah. Yeah. I did like the first time that I played the lead mill in
You played the lead
Sheffield.
mill.
It was like within so never mind like the whole history of a fairly decent venue, but within sort of 9 days of us playing it, Stiff Little Fingers had played there, which nobody ever makes that face because nobody's ever heard of Stiff Little Fingers. I
What?
have them fucking tattooed on me, but most of the time it's
No,
oh what where when what.
what? No, it's
But
punk. Stiff little
and
fingers.
and this was Stiff Little Fingers with Bruce Foxton on bass at the time, and also Joe Strummer and the
What?
Mascaleros had gigs, which I'd been to within 9 days, and then I go up. So it's not just like these people have played here and now I'm playing it. It's like, no, they were here like a week ago. That's how fresh it is. Can we still smell them at all? How often do you clean the stage? It's all right if you haven't. It really is. Can I inhale some of those vibes and be a better performer somehow?
Yeah, like let's
But
take the
no,
energy.
it's silly. It means nothing tangible, real, but it meant everything
It,
at the time.
I'm so envious of you, like playing Leadmill because that's up there.
Yeah,
It's a local legendary venue, isn't it? Like, I'd love to play there.
yeah. I've had much better times off stage than on it, but that's because I guess I'm not very good, which is why I don't do it anymore. I do this instead. Um, I get to promote people that are much better than I ever could have been if I carried on for another millennia. Um, but so, what do you? How can I phrase this? How would you quantify success? What do you consider success?
This is such an interesting question, because I think the um I've been looking into this a lot, so it's like,
Okay.
because otherwise, I think with music in particular, as an industry, I think the people define success as, being, Taylor Swift, or what it's very high standards for what success is compared to what's not successful. And I think that can be a deterrent for a lot of people because it's like, oh, if I've not made it, then I'm rubbish, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I think for me personally, I love traveling, I love adventures, I love music, I love people. So for defining success for me is being able to tour around, playing the music that I love to write and perform, and connecting with other people, and just, enjoying doing what I love and being paid to do what I love, and yeah, just spreading some good in the world. That's
Yeah.
success for me, really.
You don't have to be number one. You don't have to be a multimillionaire. You just have to be able to do it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
just simply to be able to do it,
yeah.
as opposed to work in a factory or something ridiculous. Um, so, like, yeah, if anybody, Netflix wants to give me a talk show or anything, I'm all right. I can
I'm just
talk.
saying, I can see Kaylee's comment when I'm just reading that now. When I saw you, I like that you played songs from the last few years, and also you played older songs. So it was. I'm like, oh, thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah, a good mix.
Yeah,
A good mix is what it's all about. I see bands all the time, and sometimes, yeah, I think they can either focus too much on whatever they think are classics from maybe 70s, and they're playing the AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, and it's all good stuff.
yeah,
And there's a market for that. There's an audience for that, and there's plenty of people up and grooving, and it's all good. Or people are trying to go, okay, what's cool, what's hip, what's popular? Who says hip? Even I'm too young to really say hip. Where did that come from? But what's cool right now? Let's learn those,
yeah,
and.
yeah.
But I feel
It's
like often you can tell because the performance isn't there, as you said, lots of times. That it's about connection, and
yeah,
I think it's stands out a mile that you don't even like this song. You've made the effort to learn it and nail it and play it, either the solo or in a band, because to maybe make money as a performer. And it's like, okay, fair enough, but
Yeah.
wouldn't you rather play songs that you like? Wouldn't that be more fun? And chances are, plenty of other people will like them too.
It's interesting that because I mean, like on my set, I do play songs that I don't like. I just like, but you can. I think the beauty of music is like you can put your own stamp on everything. And there's some songs that I didn't used to like them, but now I play them. I'm like, actually, that's good fun. That it's
Oh,
like
come on. So, see, because you've said it now, and it's going to be on the internet forever. So you can't so you can't deny it. So next, when people see you, they'll be trying to work out: does she like this one? And does she like? Is this the one she doesn't like? I don't know. So you may as well just tell us. Give us an example of one you weren't that keen on, but you thought people will like it. I'll give it a go, and now you kind of look forward to it.
so, I mean, it's got to be like, Sweet Caroline and the
All
old
right.
500 miles and stuff. I used to, yeah, it's like, so I make the joke before I even start singing it, and I go, do you know what? Part of my soul dies when I sing this song, so you lot have got to sing it too. So
Yeah,
like,
that's
but
brilliant.
when you see people having a really good time, you don't care. It's like whatever. This is fun.
Yeah. Now you see, now younger me would have like hated that so much. Stupid, immature, like think I'm a songwriter, think I have something to say, think I have meaning and value in the world would have been like, how could you do that? Why would anybody do that? That's what's wrong with the world. Like old, grey me is like, nah, it sounds like fun. Fuck it.
I'll tell you, right. I honestly, my first band, like we were called the Originals, very original name. But the reason behind that was because I point blank refused to do covers. I'm not doing covers. Like we're just gonna write all our own
Yeah,
songs. And then when you've played a few gigs and you've seen people just start glazing over a little bit, you go, actually, let's chuck a few covers in to keep people because as humans, what we're searching for is familiarity in anywhere and anything that we're doing. We want to
yeah,
feel familiar, and that's how we connect. So, if you like hear songs that you know, then instantly you're back in the game a little bit. Is well, I
yeah.
think anyway. So
It's possible. It's a balancing act.
yeah,
It is a discussion worth having, and there's no right or wrong. I love original music. I love discovering new original
yeah,
music.
yeah,
Uh, I'd enjoy coming to see you live, and I'd enjoy, no doubt, at least probably a good 90%, at least of the whole set. But my favourite parts would be the original songs, simply because I just love that bravery of expressing yourself and telling your story and exposing yourself, not in a getting arrested kind of a way, but in an artistic kind of a way. And it just, I love that. I live for that. That's why what I've really enjoyed since I started doing this is whether it's a photographer, a painter, a singer, a songwriter, sculptor, a cosplayer, whatever it might be, video game. Everybody has, it's your story.
yeah.
You're telling your story, and people don't really need to hear it. You're all great artists, and you certainly don't need to hear it from me. But I like to say it is because it is 2024, and by all accounts, it has all been
Yeah.
done, right? But it's never been done the way you do it, right?
It's
Because
true, isn't
that's
it?
just impossible. There's only you can do it the way you do. So for all that familiarity, which can make a connection, which is great, but it will always have your little twist to it.
Yeah.
And so it's great. It's never, it's everything's, somewhat derivative, it's not, it sounds very negative when you say that, but it's just unavoidable.
Yeah.
But everything will have your little twist to it. And for me, that's why you should do it. And that's why I want you to keep doing it, regardless of whatever success you may or may not feel like you're getting. Because if you keep doing it, I do believe you'll find that audience, your audience,
Yeah.
that makes that connection. And they can only do that to you because it's that something that they can't even articulate what it is, why yours is better than theirs, and why do you prefer why do I prefer the Clash over the Pistols? Heaven forbid, for some people,
It's true.
is it the Jam or the Who? I don't know, but there's just something,
That's
and so it's
the beauty
worth
of
doing.
art, isn't it? It's so subjective. And
Yeah,
I think the thing that, like, I'm finding on this songwriting journey, the performing journey, well, life really, just on the journey of life, is that the more you do the songwriting, the more you actually find out about yourself. And you're saying like you're exposing yourself, but actually you learn about yourself while you're doing it. And
yeah,
when
certainly.
people say to me, how do you, like, I couldn't do that, I'm like, anyone can do it. Anyone can sit there with a piece of paper and just write some words down, whether it's just a rhyming. And if that helps you find something within yourself, or is just a few minutes that you give yourself permission to create, because we're all
Yeah.
creative. I just don't think people believe they are, and I know I didn't believe I was
No,
until I
it's
didn't.
hard to say. I think it as we were saying when we were talking about success, it's because it's it's people on top of the pops. Like you don't see your dad, you don't you don't see your neighbours, you don't see your classmates or whatever on top of that. It's alien. It's different. It's separate. How do you get from here, to there?
Yeah.
And nobody's going to tell you. They don't. Your parents can't help you out, probably. I mean, unless your parents happen to be, but like, but for most of us, our parents aren't. So your parents are no use to you, and school's no use to you. And I mean, try getting to sort of that age where you're thinking of specifying more particular subjects and to narrow your field down to get a job at the end of it, and be thinking college, university. We used to have, there used to be like careers advisors or whatever. Try telling that guy, yeah, I want to be a rock star. He's not interested. He doesn't give you the right subject. Oh, well, if you want to be a rock star, what you need, you're going to need English literature, and you're going to need. He just goes, no, shut up. What do you really want to do? No, I really want to be a rock star. It looks fucking awesome. Like, they're not going to have, it's like, get a proper job, you know?
I still hear that now. Like,
Yeah. It's horrible. It really I can let it really rile me if I let it, because it's really not promoted and embraced much. I think particularly if anybody's watching from further afield, we're here in the UK, in the north of the UK of all places, and it's really not an aspiration. It's not really feels so unreachable, I think, for a lot of people. That's why I do appreciate people like yourself who somehow, however that spark got ignited, and trying to stick with it, because it's not there's no infrastructure, there's no industry to help you out and move you in that direction. It's just, no, get a job, get a house, get a wife, get a husband, get a kid, get a cat, get a dog, just pay your taxes and just go. Being an artist, any form of artist, is ridiculously under encouraged.
which is such a shame. I still get it now. When I'm gigging, I have
I
people come
bet.
up to me. So what do you do? what's your proper job? And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
this is my proper job. And then I often hear from family, um, when are you going to do something with your law degree? When are you actually going to get a proper job? And I'm like, yeah, but I've done the proper job, like the
yeah,
proper job. And do you know what? I love going to I love going to work now, work. Like,
yeah.
because I would go and gig for free, but I get paid for it and I love it. And it's, and it has its pros and cons, don't get me wrong, because if
Yeah.
I get, like, if I injure my hand or can't sing, that's my income.
Yeah.
But that's the joys of being self-employed, isn't it? But
And this is the
but as for
thing. It is work. It
mm,
is work. Hopefully it's work you enjoy.
yeah,
But it is work. You have to work at it.
yeah,
It
it's not going to just
it
fall in
won't,
your lap.
yeah, it won't come to you. You have to chase the gigs. You have to make the phone calls, send the emails,
Yeah,
turn up in person. You have to nag if they're not getting back to you quick enough, because you can't hold it. If you're not going to have me on that date, maybe somewhere else will. So I'm not going to stick around waiting for replies
yeah.
if I can get one out of somebody else, and all of that. The
And
same with,
don't get me wrong. I've got friends that it has happened like that for them. That they're getting people approach them, but they still have to. You still have to learn your craft. You still have to be doing
yeah,
whatever it is, and it does. I think this is the other illusion that I had that made me not pursue it until the age that I am, is that you think that, oh, these people are just talented, that's it. But actually, no, talent, maybe some people are born naturally more gifted towards some
yeah,
things, but you can train yourself to do anything really. If you want to put the hours and work and time into it, you can, like.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as basic as this seems, a one-on-one conversation with another human being, but that's scary, scary shit to some people. I've
Yeah.
had people, I reach out to people that when I see or hear their art, and I think, oh, I'd like to talk to them, and it's like, although they may be on stage in front of God knows how many people, or they may have their own kind of like shows on the internet or something like that, they do that and they're putting themselves out there, but then talking to me is somehow like out of their comfort zone,
It
like,
was for me. I was
but
like, oh
but the
my
game
god.
face, yeah, getting that game face on and going on stage, and I do get it, and I can relate, but yeah, it is quite surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
like, to look at what they do, look at them professionally, and it's all up like, hey, look at me and give me money. I'm really good at what I do. But then, like, stripping it down to a kind of to this, like, they don't want to do that.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, like, I find this really quite funny. I've had people, come up to me while I've been gigging. This was a little while ago, but they've come up to me and, like, I'm giving you an example of, like, the two different characters here, but it's the same. I was so nervous about coming to talk to you, actually, believe it or not, but I
Right.
rely on nerves to help me through stuff. So, but um, I had someone come up to me and they were like, oh, you know, kind of asked me out on a date. So went on this date, and they were like, "You're nothing like you are on stage," and I'm like, I know, I'm not actually. And they went, "No, I like you were on stage more," and I'm like, it's just like it's it's
Oh,
like no, it's funny. I like it is. It's just that the different things bring. I definitely hide behind my guitar. So when I'm on stage, if you take away my guitar, I take my hat off to anyone that can sing without an instrument in front of them.
no, no, yeah, I did exactly the same. As soon as the strap went over, I was Johnny Rockstar, at least in my own head. Um, but so it's about that time of night. I like to do a little thing I call "Let's play this or that."
Okay.
There's no wrong answers. There's no prizes because God knows I don't get paid for this, so I can't afford any prizes. I wish I could. One day, who knows? So keep it simple. We start with the
In
perennial
face on.
cats or dogs.
Dogs.
Dogs. That was quick. That was quick and easy. Dogs. Dogs. I've had a lot of dog people. I've had a fair mix. I've had a fair mix on that. A lot of people. Beer or wine?
I don't drink, so
Neither.
but when I used to drink, I'd probably go to beer. Although I do miss a glass of red wine from time to time, so beer.
Yeah, no, I haven't had a drink in, I don't know, what is it now, 13, 14 years or something,
Wow.
which there's no like intervention necessary. There's no horror story. I just decided not to bother. Um, it made me feel like I don't know what your experience has been, but not, not so much now, but in the earlier days of my no longer drinking and still going out with like the same sort of groups of friends and saying, "Oh no, I'm all right." No, don't,
Yeah.
offering to buy you a drink or whatever. I'll see drinking. Like, no, I don't do that anymore. They were all like really shocked and or concerned,
Hmm.
and it was like, did I drink that much that it seems that shocking that I can go without for an evening? And I didn't
I,
think it. I didn't think it was a problem. Maybe it actually was because these people seem so. What you not drinking? Like a tiger in Africa? What like?
I think like I mean being in Northern England as well,
Yeah,
that our culture
it is the culture.
revolves an awful lot around it, and so people now still like
Yeah, it's very alien, isn't it? It's
it is. It's like it makes you untrustworthy too. Like, which like and I think sometimes I think people think you're judging them. I always say to people, I really don't care what you do as long as it
oh
don't impact me, man. I do not care. You do you,
no,
whatever.
yeah,
Like
it doesn't bother me. Get absolutely
I've done it.
out your kid because it's like it's. But I'm going to be leaving early because
Yeah.
a room full of incredibly being the only sober person in a room, even if it's just your group, but certainly there could be like a room full, but even among your group, if there's only maybe like 4 or 5 of you and you're that odd one out and they are all way gone, it's just because there's no conversation anymore, is there? You can't actually talk to them about anything. They have nothing to say. They're slurring the words. They're just repeating anything they have said, like they can't remember that they said it to you a minute ago, or that you said they're asking you questions they've already asked you. And it's not fun. It's not fun.
No,
That's kind of, it then makes you look back and wonder why you ever did it when you're watching these people. And you go, it doesn't
no.
look that much fun actually now. It
This is
felt
why
fun.
I stopped. I had to stop because I was like doing everyone else a favor, really, because I was just such an idiot when I drank, you know. I just oh, I don't know, but it is that it's also I start feeling because I start feeling responsible for other people as
Yes,
well, and I'm like, oh,
yes.
I feel like I need to give you a lift home, but then I'm knackered because that's the other thing when you're not drinking, it's like you don't have that like stuff to keep you propped up, like so you
Yeah.
like start getting tired and you're like, oh,
Yeah, no, that's me. I start babysitting everyone, and I see him. I see my friend, and I know he's going after that girl, and I know because I'm sober, she's with him, and he's much bigger than both of us. So can I just grab him and kind of guide him over this way instead? Come and talk to me. You want to, and I don't really want to talk to you because you're drunk and you can't talk, but like just stay the hell away. And I don't need that drama, really. I came out for a good time.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah,
if anybody wants to have a boring, relatively sober, just have one or two, probably a meal or something, that's much more my speed. Um,
yeah.
anyway, speaking of which, pizza or kebab?
Pizza.
Now, is that a vegetarian thing or just a pizza thing?
Just prefer pizza.
Hey,
Yeah,
how can
yeah.
so many
No.
turtles be wrong? Right? It's gotta be. Okay. Country retreat or city living?
Oh, that's so hard because I love both. I love
Yes.
I love my nature, but I love the buzz of a city too. It depends where you are as well. Oh. Let's go city for now.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay. Oh, excuse me. Would you rather go skydiving or scuba diving?
Skydiving. I've done both.
You've done. Oh, you've
I've
done
done both.
both. Oh, yeah. That's the first. That's the
Yeah,
first.
I've
Yeah.
done both. Scuba
Yeah.
diving, I panicked. I'm
Yeah.
petrified of the ocean, but I was like, no, I'm under the Great Barrier Reef. I've got to go and do it. Saw a massive fish, and I went, whereas skydiving lasts a few minutes, and you're strapped to someone else that knows what they're doing. So
So do you do that like just to push your own
yeah,
limits, just to experiment? Yeah. Yeah. Not a
yeah.
charity thing or.
No, so my I'm an I think that's why I'm so addicted to the
Hmm.
gigging, to be honest, is a bit of an adrenaline junkie. So I'm like, I worked as a ski instructor, so that's why I was
Okay.
traveling quite a bit before. So, and then I did like a year of traveling around Australia. So it was kind of like, I've got to do everything because I might not get back here, who knows? So yeah, like skydiving, scuba diving, quad bike, whatever ing I could do, I'm like, do it. Snorkeling.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. Do you consider yourself a leader or a follower?
Oh, no, that's
It,
hard
it,
because
it's a bit of a
yeah, it's
shitty question, really.
that is a hard question because you're like, I'm a bit of a people pleaser and I like to please others and go yes, 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 and then I suppose you can't really be a musician and not be some form of a leader because that's what art is
Yeah.
really, isn't it? It's you know um leading with your expression. So let's go leader. Even though I can't
Yeah.
make a decision to
Okay.
make my life safe.
Big parties or small gatherings?
Small gatherings.
Small
Yeah,
gatherings.
no, not into big things.
Quality over quantity.
Mm. Unless, like I
People
say,
usually say, yeah, unless you're talking about a gig, in which case I want to play Glastonbury
yeah.
to 200,000 people.
If I'm on
Just a
stage,
medium-sized
different.
party at my best. Okay. Would you rather have money or free time?
Mm. Well, money enables freedom, so free time is what that is, isn't it? Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, I figure that's the plan.
Yeah.
I, having not having any money, I can neither confirm nor deny that that's. Um, but that's what I like to think.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay. Polka dots or stripes?
Polka dots. Considering
I,
I wear a lot of stripes, you would think.
people are probably sick of hearing me say this now, but like that was one I wrote down and I just put in just to like just to fill it in,
Yeah.
just because I wanted X amount. I thought that was a reasonable amount, and I was kind of trying to think of interesting ones or cool ones or slightly tricky ones, and then it was kind of running out, and I went uh, dots or stripes. Yeah, uh, but yeah, it often seems to be the one that people spend the most time. Oh, ooh, dots or stripes. Ooh, like it's really important. I mean, I've been asked like, is it horizontal or vertical stripes? Like, oh no, I don't thought that far through. I don't care.
I wear a lot of stripes, but I do I love the black and white polka dot. I just love it. I love that look. That must be the mod thing, I reckon.
Yeah,
His vibe.
yeah. Here's one. Would you rather see a puppet show or a magic show?
Magic.
Magic, magic. Okay, magic. Pick a card. Pick a card. Any card. Close up. Misdirection. sort of magic, or like, look, it's the Empire State Building. Now it's gone. Do you like the
Or
big
something
illusion?
big. Yes.
Yeah.
I switch off with card stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. But yeah, something big and a big illusion. I'm like, oh wow, how did they do that?
I think you can go to a point where like it's too big.
Yeah.
Like the believability level of like, no, the Empire State Building has not disappeared. I'm pretty sure it hasn't. You know, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm pretty sure you haven't made that happen. You know, there are several thousand people working inside it right now, and you've put them in another dimension or something. I'm pretty sure probably not. It's still cool and a form of entertainment, which I can appreciate and everything. But yeah, I like that. I actually kind of like the smaller stuff. I think it's, again, I don't know if it's magic, you know, like
Yeah.
magic, like movies, magic, but it's the skill of misdirection. The reason magicians have the beautiful assistant is so that at least a fair amount of the audience are looking at her, not looking at him. Just
Yeah.
actually look at the card and put it back in, because she's jiggling
I
around
thought
in
about
sequence. You know. Oh yeah. No,
that.
that's yeah. It's maybe it's kind of sexist in 2024, but that's why they used to do it. Now they have to work a lot harder, because now there's a lot less
Yeah.
beautiful assistants, because it's kind of frowned upon, and more like, you better find a way. That's why they do a lot of the patter, a lot of the talking, tell a lot of jokes and stuff while they're moving the cards around, or the cup and the ball and all of that. So you're just distracted. You're just listening to the story instead, or you know, the pulling funny faces, and they're all very animated, and it's all, you find yourself looking at the face and you're not watching what their hands are doing.
It's clever. It's
It
clever.
is, it is,
An art
it is a
form.
skill. How they must all steal so much shit, right? Whatever they get paid for doing magic must be nothing compared to how much they can steal and sell on eBay later with the same skill that they're using on stage. I'm sure they don't, but
There
maybe they
must be
should.
a
I don't
code of
know.
conduct.
I don't know. Any magicians want to hook me up and come on and tell me otherwise? That'd be great. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, what else we got? Oh, okay, we're on to the controversial ones. On to the controversial ones. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I do apologize in advance if anybody's watching and you're a big Lexi fan and you're about to go right off potentially with the answers to some of these. And I'm sorry to you if that happens. If your next gig's just like there's a guy and a whippet and that's
Sorry, is
about
that
it.
my
I'm sure you'll
internet
still.
signal? Oh, is that...
I'm sure you'll have it. I'm sure you'll have the whippet rocking out anyway. But Star Trek or Star Wars?
I've never seen Star Trek, so it's got to be Star Wars on it.
That's one. That's one way of doing it. And a great way. See, that's a good trick, kids. Future guests, just if you want to pick one, but you think it might get you in trouble for picking one, just claim to have never seen the other one, and then it's a good out. I like it. Um, would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Vampire.
Everybody picks vampire.
Well, werewolf, you've got no control over when you're changing, have you? Whereas vampire.
I guess it depends. It depends. The law's a little more varied
Although,
on vampires, but at least if you go with the full moon thing, then you know exactly when it's going to happen. Which is why some
I'm a
people
bit like that
lock
around the
themselves up
full.
in the basement. But then you don't get any of the fun of being a werewolf if you
I'm,
spend.
I'm a bit like a werewolf around the moon, though. If you
I
don't give me enough tea, that is it. That's
I just have to look. I just have to make a bit of a stand for furry mammals, right? There's nothing wrong with being a hairy mammal. It's not a bad life. It's a skint life, but it's not a bad life. Okay. You may or may not have any opinion on Dragon Ball or Pokemon.
again, Dragon Ball. I didn't have a clue. So Pokemon, I used to collect the cards and stuff. So I still got some of them somewhere.
You've still got a day. Get them, find them out. see what condition they're in, see what they are. You could be sitting on a gold mine.
Could
They are.
Why are you
Some of
having
that stuff
shiny
is,
shards? What shiny? I can't remember.
yeah.
Egyptian type
Oh,
one. What?
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah,
No,
all
it
the
were
Pokemon.
Pokemon, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the Pokemon. Yeah, but yeah, so that goes. Some of that goes for some crazy money.
that,
Uh,
I need to get searching in my boxes that are in lofts.
oh my God, I swear, if when I moved, if I had, so if I still had like my Star Wars figures, like He-Man figures, some of my old video games, I would probably not have to go to work in the morning. But you get to that age, you leave home, you don't take every last bit of your shit with you, and you come back for a visit and think, I'll pick up some of my old tat, and it's all gone in the car boot for like 10 pence. And you can watch documentaries now, and it's like 10 grand. And you're just going, I had that, I had that, I had that. Even not in the box, okay, it's also got to be in the box, pristine. That's where the big money is. But as long as it's not broken and still in reasonable condition, you can still, make a good living out of some old toys, kids. And I see stuff all the time that just makes me go, oh, damn it.
Oh no!
So yeah,
If it's not
Pokemon
down in my
is,
house,
yeah, Pokemon gets you some crazy money.
I'm gonna have to go looking for some.
Yeah, Pokemon. Oh, if you've got some Pogs. Do you remember Pogs? Yeah.
I can remember them. They used to be in crisps, didn't they? They used to have some like.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Tazos were
that's the one.
one kind. Yeah. Ah. Okay. This. If you're just joining us, this is Lexi Whiteside. Whiteside. Yes, Whiteside. I don't know why I thought that was wrong for a minute there. Sorry. Singer, songwriter, performer, recording artist.
I like the sound of that one.
Yeah, just had it all on. Skydiver,
Hey,
adrenaline
I'm not
junkie.
even, I'm, I'm
She's
not
got her own fashion brand. She's got her own fashion brand. She's got her own perfume. She's an astronaut. Okay, some of those may not be true. If you want to find out which ones are true, which ones aren't, I guess you'll just have to look up Lexi Whiteside Music, hit those socials, find her out, give her a like and a subscribe and a share, and you'll find out which ones are right and which ones aren't. But or we could just give the game away right now, but ask the question for shits and giggles. If you did have your own perfume, which maybe one day you will, what would you call it?
Oh man, that's hard. I ain't even got a like stage name because I'm that unoriginal. I just use my name. But oh man, that's hard, isn't it?
I mean, it could be Lexi. I mean, it's got a.
Oh, what are you wearing today, Lexi? Just got Lexi on. Not got. Mind you, it could be like sausage, couldn't it? I mean, sauvage. Oh, we've got sauvage on today. Sausage.
Yeah. All right, what would your signature scent be? What would it smell like?
I quite like the more kind of woody kind of smell, like I can't. I wear. I love like Gucci and stuff like that, Gucci Guilty and all that. So it'd be more of a kind of, I suppose, slightly more masculine smell, but still feminine. Masculine but feminine.
Yeah, you can put those, like you said, you could put all the like sort of guitar notes in there.
Yeah.
Like the steel of the strings and the maple wood and a bit of like stale beer from the gigs and
Well, that's how I smell at the end of the night. No, I if I was going to make a scent, it'd make me smell very sexual and lovely and.
Okay, so but this is what we do. We go completely off topic because it's just much more fun. I figure people don't watch for me. I figure anybody who's watching is watching for you. They probably already know you, already seen you out and about somewhere. So if I go through the kind of boring professional music questions, they probably already know. But if we
Yeah.
do this, they get a side of you that maybe they didn't know.
I don't know. If you
You
come
know.
to one of my gigs, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So don't know what stories I'll share with you. I don't know what.
So,
Yeah, just
um, so with that in mind, have you ever seen a UFO?
no.
No, that's easy. A UFO or a UAP, as we're supposed to call them
I
now.
was. Why have they gone on? Have they
Yeah,
protested against it?
it's been
Oh,
rebranded.
I thought they'd like put a protest going. You can't call us UFOs anymore.
Yeah, no, it was because when you say UFO,
Mhm.
because movies, media, everybody thinks you make the aliens
Yeah,
connection, right? X Files and all that. But of course, it isn't. It's an unidentified flying object. It's got nothing to do with aliens. If there's an object and it's flying and you don't know what it is, then you've seen a UFO. It
yeah,
has nothing to do with aliens. It could be a perfectly normal, boring thing. So, because we had in the US, they had a lot of stuff in Congress recently with like pilots and generals and stuff giving all this evidence of like UFOs are real, which of course they are. Because every country is building things that fly, and when you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. Therefore, it's a UFO. Whether there's aliens or not is a completely different thing. So they've attempted to distance the idea of so people will report more sightings, you know, in case it's the Russians or the North Koreans, and like
yeah.
we kind of really need to know because it could be bad if there's things in the sky that aren't meant to be. To try and distance it from the aliens thing, it's now something like unidentified aerial projectile or something like that.
UAP. That
Yeah.
it sounds like
Um,
a form of disease, doesn't it?
yeah.
It sounds like something that you might have to
Nobody.
go to a clinic for.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Nobody except some poor boys and girls who have to fill in forms when people report UFOs and they have to fill it in. Nobody is ever using UAP unless it's in some official capacity where it's been doing the thing. On street level, it's going to be UFO forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually UFOs. What about ghosts? Ever seen a ghost?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go on. Story time.
Now this is where
Story
you
time.
start going, Lexi's crazy, No,
Nah.
I thought, yeah, it freaked me out. It's that stuff like I don't like to think too much about it because it's like, yeah, it's kind of there's plenty of stuff that we can't explain.
Oh,
It's
certainly.
crazy. So
So
yeah,
yeah, who knows? So yeah, we've all we've all put as keys as phone, the TV remote. We've put it down. We've walked away. We've come back. It's only been a minute. We know exactly where they are, and they're not. Right? We've all done that, right? You've done that.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I locked my keys in the car the other day, so I mean, I can't be blaming anyone else for that.
We've
Like
all,
it's just,
I've put things and I know where I've put it and I come to get it later. It's not there. You turn the whole house upside down looking for it. You're looking for it in places where you know it cannot be. It could never be. Where are my shoes? They're not on the shoe rack. They're not by the door. You're looking in the fridge, right? Because you've looked everywhere else, right? Why would I put the TV remote in the fridge? Why would I put my car keys in the fridge? But they're not on the side. They haven't fell down the sofa. You've looked everywhere else, so you're looking in the fridge for your fucking car keys, like a complete moron, only to eventually find them. You know where? Exactly where you thought they
oh,
were.
the shoe rack.
Exactly where they were supposed to be, where you put them, but they weren't. But something had them away for shits and giggles, messing with us. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I've just pissed off too many trolls and fairies somehow. I don't know. I don't know what I've done wrong. if,
Yeah, but
if,
if you were one, right, you would so do it, wouldn't you? Just be like, right, they're having a bad day. Let's see how we can kind of just like do a few things just to.
yeah, I could make it. Oh no, she's far too fucking happy, right? No, she's not. All she wants to do is come back after a hard gig and relax and veg in front of the TV with her favorite show. And no, that remote's going bye bye. It's not happening. Just go to bed, Lexi. You're not watching nothing tonight. Yeah, they do. They do it to me. I mean, I think I'm not that old. I mean, this may say otherwise, but I'm not. I'm not that old. I'm not that forgetful. But yeah, they still. If you're out there and you're part of the pixie community and you want to again, if you want to get in touch and you want to be a guest and explain yourselves why you do what you do, I'm quite happy to hear from you. Let's do that. That'd be great. So yeah, we're kind of going off on one again. What else? What else have I got here? So yeah, so if anybody pays attention to the other side of what I do when it's not me, when it's not this, yeah, that's lovely. This not so much. Just the posts. Everybody knows it's mainly movies, music, TV, video games, all the culture that pops. But yeah,
I
but
like that. All the culture
I'm a
that pops.
all the culture that pops. But I'm a big movie fan. You can't see from here, but this is very much the body of an indoors kid, right? I like the great outdoors as much as the next guy. If we're talking about the film with John Candy uh, and Dan Aykroyd, because then that's I'm good with that. So you get much time for that TV
No,
movie?
I
No.
even if I do, it's I don't watch telly to be honest. Like I'm like I don't. My brain just doesn't allow me, so I sit and read,
Yeah.
write, but
Oh,
generally
what,
speaking,
what, what,
yeah,
what have you been reading? What have you been reading
I'm
recently?
I'm a self-help nerd. I'm
All
like,
right.
yeah, I love love. I love reading about relationships. I love reading about personal development. I love reading about how the mind works. I love reading about learning about people and
Yeah.
music and yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually you find things, not just that it's interesting in and of itself, but do you often, apply um,
Yeah,
some of the
so
things that you find? Yeah.
yeah, I do. I mean, sometimes I question myself. I'm like, I've literally read this in 10 different books. Why don't I just like apply it? But
Mm.
no, my brain will just go, this information is wonderful. It's great. And we're great at telling other people this information, but applying it to your own life, no, that's too much like hard work, isn't it? That. But no, I play around with different routines. I play around with different stuff. I'm always game for trying something to kind of better
Yeah.
yourself. So yeah,
Yeah, we can always be better, kids. That's just a pure and simple fact. We can always be better. Better at everything. You can be a better musician. You can just be a better person.
but
However fantastic you are, and I'm sure you all are, you're all beautiful, beautiful people, or you wouldn't be here watching us beautiful people. But you can always be better. We can
you can.
always be better people.
But I just want to add because the problem with the self-help industry is it makes money out of people being better,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
so I think you have to have a level of acceptance, and that's something that I've had to really work hard on, and I'm still working, and I have a lot of therapy to do that, but to accept who you are and to accept that our emotions, accept them and
Yeah.
accept all form of emotions, not just the happy wonderful ones. It's just accepting it, but whether you do something with that then is another thing. So there's accepting the emotion and then deciding what actions to take with it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
my
Certainly,
two pennies.
as I've got a lot older and maybe at least a little wiser. Um, yeah, I just had to subscribe to more of a belief system. Like it's not what happens to you, it's how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's important. And everything, everything can be somewhat turned into a positive. Everything,
Yeah, definitely.
because as you said, you've got to deal with it. Repressing yourself, your emotions, it's not
No.
good. It's natural. Something bad's happened to you. It's okay to be upset. You can't be laughy, smiley, happy person all the time. Your mum just died, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake. You know, like it's okay
Yeah.
to be upset. Something bad. It's okay to be angry. I mean, like it's okay. You have to be able to assess the situation because we can all be prone to perhaps overreact. And much like art, much like the art that we create, it's somewhat subjective,
Yeah.
and like the way I react to something isn't the way you react to something, and neither of us are right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That it's too much. Oh, you've gone too far. You've overreacted. You might think so. I still think I'm holding back. No matter how many times I've punched this wall, I assure you I'm holding back because I could be punching your face, but I'm
Yeah.
punching the wall. So, you know, I've I've processed.
No, but
you
it's
know,
true. Like, if you anything you don't feel, it'll come back to bite you at some point, and
yeah,
it's just yeah. And I think anger's very much frowned upon, and there's a lot of shame put onto anger. But anger's a beautiful emotion because it's telling you something, and every emotion's telling you something,
yeah,
and it's not usually about the outside world. It's about what's going off within you. It's telling you something within you, and that's
yeah,
I wish I'd learned that like when I was a teenager.
yeah.
Like,
Don't we
yeah,
all? Yeah, yeah. So, do you do anything like? Do you have any kind of routine like affirmations? Did you do anything like that?
so there's mixed views on affirmations. So incantations are much better. I
All right.
I personally think getting the body involved. Problem with an affirmation is that um if you do have like quite a highly critical brain and a overthinking brain, um, an affirmation sometimes, not for everyone, but for some people, and for me, this is what I found is that you go, I like, you have these positive affirmations, but how my brain will work is it'll find every little loophole to prove that affirmation is incorrect. So
Yeah.
that's how my brain works. It's so for me, incantations are great because it gets your body involved, and your physiology is so important. Like, to create a changing state, your physiology is one of the first places that you can change, and then the language that you use and where you focus your attention as well. So yeah.
Yeah, my a big issue that I have is I am like far too cynical for one so young and beautiful. I'm not, but I don't see it. I mean, it doesn't cause me massive problems, as you alluded to with yourself. The problems it causes me are problems for me.
Yeah.
It's more aimed at myself more often than not than other
Yeah.
people.
No.
Um, a lack of it. Never been the most confident. But as I've increased in confidence, but the cynicism's still there. It's kind of like you said, the overthinky brain goes, I am confident enough to do it in my own abilities. I could do it, and then the cynical guy goes, yeah, they won't like it. you know?
It's funny because the brain works in wonderful, mysterious ways, but it's fascinating. It's but it you can theoretically have everything in your brain. Right? You can have it, like, you can understand it, but if you can't feel it, then it's very hard to kind of, yeah, it's, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's kind
Oh,
of,
yeah.
you can have things in theory, but unless you feel it, you never fully Understand?
The word of the day, kids, is connection.
There we go.
We're coming back to that. We were there like an hour ago. We're back at it. We're back to it now. Yeah.
I guess it's one of our core values is connection. So
It is. No, that is. Hey, I wish I could remember who the quote is from, but I do believe that there's a quote where someone asked about the meaning of life, and they simply replied that it's heartfelt connection and communication with others.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that'll do. It works for me. I mean, I'm really bad at it. I'm getting better. I'm doing this in his own very 21st century virtual way. I'm trying to make more connections. It's very well. Can I say it's out of my comfort zone when we're on episode 32?
Of course.
You know, or have I got the hang of it now? I don't. But
It's
yeah, it's still. I mean, just like with gigs, do you still get some butterflies, some nerves before gigs? Yeah, good.
absolutely,
I think you
absolutely.
should. I think it's a good thing. I think
It's
it's a
funny.
good thing.
Yesterday I was in the studio that I went to do some vocals and Dan was like, "You're not on it today." I said, "Yeah, because I'm so nervous about playing tonight because I was gigging last night." And
Oh yeah,
he was like, "You still
that
get
you've been
nervous?"
gigging like 3 times a week for the last. You just can't do that any good, really.
Just still get nervous, and I think it's good.
It is
I
good.
think
It
when
means you
them
care.
I do
It means you care. It
care.
means you're bothered.
Yeah,
It means you want to be good. You want to be the best you can be.
yeah,
You want people to enjoy it. You're wanting your producer to be impressed when you nail it. He's your audience
yeah,
there when you're in the studio. When you're doing a gig, you've got the audience. You want them. It's not big, horrible, narcissistic ego. It's just you want to be good. You want to be the best you can be. You're hoping to do well. The slight fear of failure, which I mean, don't be afraid to fail, kids, because there's always a chance you'll succeed. So
yeah,
you've got to. It's all risk. Don't be afraid to take the risk. But those nerves, if you think, oh, if I do it enough, I'll get to a place where they go away. Personally speaking, I hope they don't. I
yeah,
hope they never do for you. To me, that means you still care. You still give a shit. However many years down the line, however long you've been doing it, however many times you played this song, this set to death, which I was really quite bad at. I was like, write a bunch of songs, nail a bunch of songs, go out and gig a bunch of songs. During the tour, I'm writing more songs, and now I just want to play these songs. And I never want to play those songs
yeah.
again. But if you're lucky, people like those songs, and that's what they've come to hear. And I'm like, yeah, but these new ones are better. To me, the next song was always my best. What's your favorite song? What's your best song? The next one. It's a cliche, but that was how I worked. And yeah, so I think the nerves, the butterflies, it means you still care.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's yeah, I, you don't for me I just always want to get that little bit better, and they say that it's 1%, isn't it?
Yeah,
1% better if you can do that each time. Not but yeah, yeah, it is. It's about that's about me. It's not. It's yeah. It's for me. It's for me in many respects, and obviously when you're being paid to do something, I want to do a good job, So it's like it's not just me; it's the venue, and then people that have made the effort to come and see you. You want them to have a good time. So yeah, I
yeah,
think the minute the nerves start, they're not there. I think that's and I'm like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that that's the right thing that you should be doing anymore, Lex. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like I say, if you for me, it does. It means you care, and if you're not feeling it, then yeah, I think there's a go home and have a little chat with yourself,
yeah,
and just
definitely.
wonder why was that like just work? Why was that just a job, just a thing that I did, like
Yeah.
making mac and cheese or catching a bus. That was a gig. I was just I played a rock show in front of people. That should never not be fun, and never not be a little scary. And because you never know what's going to happen. These are real people.
Yeah,
They
but
might
even,
might
even when
sing
I
your own
worked
words back to you. How cool would that be?
even
Or
I worked in an office, I was nervous every day going to work. So I think it's just, yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, you just never know what you're gonna get. It's Forrest Gump, isn't it? Like life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, and that's every day. So
whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. See, we've got a little bit of movie talk coming here because Forrest Gump, and this is one of the most famous, quoted, internationally remembered and well-known lines from a movie ever. Right? This life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Every box of chocolates I've ever had tells you what's in it on the box. It tells you there's a coffee one, and there's a strawberries one, and there's a caramel one, and there's a hazelnut one. It tells you exactly what you're going to get. Life's nothing like a box of chocolates
maybe
in
back
that
when they
regard.
filmed it.
Unless Americans are different, unless it's an American thing. Any Americans want to put me right on that? If you have mystery boxes of chocolates, which is just weird, frankly, and you got several different types of boxes you could buy. How do you know which one you want? You know,
I never thought about that. You know.
you need a bit of information. You
Yeah.
need
Well, you do
to
now, don't you?
know if they're liqueurs or if they're creams. You need something to go on, right?
Well, you do now because under like industry standards, you have to know what
Yeah.
allergens and stuff are.
Well,
And so.
exactly. Yeah, that's I never. I mean, I know Americans have to deal with like gun crime on a daily basis, which makes me a little sad. But I also thought, yeah, the fact that they could be like eat like dying through because of pistachios on a box of chocolates that they didn't know it was in there. That's, it's even scarier. Now I definitely don't want to go. I was never really that bothered about going to the States anyway. I've just put myself off completely because I'm quite partial to a box of chocolates now and again. That's like fucking Russian roulette. It's supposed to be a treat. Why would you do that? You've got enough problems in that country.
Oh, I'm never using that quote ever again because yeah, now you say it, it's like I've now got a whole new perspective on it, you know.
It's weird. I've never understood for well, it's been decades. That's been out there. I feel like I'm the lone voice in the darkness that ever seems to pull that up and go, not any box of chocolates are there.
Yeah, not using that anymore. That's another saying that's getting thrown in bins.
If you said like, life is like a box of chocolates. It starts off sweet, but then it just melts and goes all wrong. I'd be like, you know, like, yeah, I can relate. But it does have the same ring to it, I know. But like, talk about taking artistic license. Okay, so let's I'm going to wrap this up and let you get off, but I'm going to
Well, I'm
we're
gonna go
going to go.
and get some chocolate now. So
Hey,
a cup of tea.
but we'll go full circle. We'll go kind of back to the beginning. Oh no, we won't. No, we won't. I'm going to do something a little better. You mentioned a big inspiration was the Jam and Paul Weller on learning to play, on wanting to play and write. How about as I say, I always assume the people watching are fans of the guest, not me. So they already probably knew that. So I'm going to try and out you a little bit here, if you dare. What would be an artist or a band or whatever musically that you really like that people wouldn't expect from you? Like not this guilty pleasure shit, like something that's bad, but you actually like it. Just something somewhat unexpected. Like if you're really into hardcore gangster rap or something, that might surprise people from a lovely blonde, bubbly.
Oh, well, I mean, who I listen to at the minute is a guy called Barry Can't Swim, Scottish
That's a
guy.
great name. Now
It
I
is, it
want to
is. I'm
listen
like,
to this guy.
yeah, it's more like jazz house.
Oh,
It's
okay. I'm
like jazz
down.
house, yeah, and like Fred again and Romy. So that's what I listen to. It's not. I still love the Jam. I still love Paul Weller, but that's my vibe. I like they're getting ready for gigs, dancing around. I'm like, yeah, let's have this.
Okay, okay. Let's continue with the outing and a little bit of potential controversy. There may not be. There may not. You may just love everything. I don't know. But is there any, pretty well known, pretty well regarded, major artist that pretty much everybody likes, and you just don't get it? I'm not going to say
Oh well,
hates because hate's a ridiculously strong word. Who hates, you know, music, movies, or anything? You don't like it. It's not your cup of tea. You don't hate it. That's ridiculous. That's reserved for paedophiles. You can hate them all day, and neo Nazis.
I
But
can
like music, you can't hate music.
I
But is
cannot
there a
bring myself to do Taylor Swift. I can't do it.
can't
I
do it?
can't do it to myself. I don't know why. I respect her very much as an artist, as a female artist in
Yeah,
particular. It's like what she's doing is amazing. I just don't again back to my favorite word,
yeah.
connect with her
It
songs.
just
I just so
just
that's an
the
example of one.
Swift style of heartbreak just doesn't connect the right way for you.
I'm not a huge fan of country, to be honest. I can listen to it and
Is
I
it
can take.
country? Does
Uh,
that count as
he's
country in this day
utilising
and
that,
age? I
hey,
guess
but
it is, isn't it? I mean, I guess it's again. I'm showing my age and being very very old and not down with it. That it's like it's pop music, and there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
no, not at all.
I'm a child of the '80s, so pop music is a big thing for me. I love pop music, but yeah, I don't know. Country is I don't know. Country's even more is even darker than
Yeah.
I've split up with my boyfriend. Country's on a whole like Radiohead and have got nothing on a lot of country artists. Country's
Yeah.
I always said like kind of like the blues. The blues is like the blues is like it's my baby left me. But there's kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get drunk with my mates and then I'm going to see another woman. I'm going on with a barmaid. Even the blues. Whereas country is kind of like songs about like it's since my baby left me, I lost my house. She took the car, run over the dog on her way out. And due to being like homeless, I've lost my job. And now I'm like living on the streets in a puddle of my own piss, wrapped up in a leftover chicken McNugget wrapper. That's more like
Can you
country
write
goes
that song? Can you
on a
write
whole
that
other
song and
level.
send it me, please? Because like that's brilliant. Like that storyline.
I mean,
Please,
like,
please.
I just feel look. My favorite country song. There's I'm forgetting the artist off the top of my head. It'll come to me when I turn it off, and I'll have to message it. But he does songs like there's a couple of songs. My favorites are "Mama Get the Hammer." There's a fly on Papa's head. Well, that one out. And another great one is "I Miss You, Baby," but my aim's getting better.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in country, hey.
So
But no, well, thank you so much for having me this evening. It's been like
not a
such a
problem.
pleasure to
And
chat to you, and
oh, it's been a giggle. It's always fun. It's always fun. I like to think it's fun. Um, it's been entirely my pleasure, and we said it earlier, but this girl has been so busy and is still so busy. There's plenty of this month left, and God only knows what kind of schedule you'll find yourself in for next month.
oh,
Um,
you'll see.
it, it, She'll be lucky if she has Christmas Day off, I think.
Oh, if anyone wants me to come round and play for Christmas Day, I'm game. Come on.
I haven't. I, no, I think that's what you should have. I think that's a marketing tool you could work on. Little Lexi Angels with the guitar you
Oh.
could put on the top of the tree, and like one of those, like those horrible fucking. Do you remember those horrible singing fish that used to set off when
Yeah.
you walk past that people used to have? It'd be like that. Anytime somebody walks past, or the cat, or whatever, it sets off. I wanna be a bee. Like, just annoy the crap out of everyone,
Oh,
but secretly
Mitch.
everyone likes it. But everyone's annoyed, but everyone likes it.
Oh. No, you've just given me an idea. Let me. I've got an idea for something that's just dropped in. So, but yeah. Right. Well, thank you so much. And
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna go and get a brew and a box of chocolates and read the label just to make sure I don't choke on a pistachio.
always,
Because
always read the label. This is the bit I can't do. I can do you a flash intro and make you sound like a huge rock star. I don't know how to end these things. I've been thinking about trying to end by trying to get the guest to give me some kind of inspirational quote, whether it may be from a movie or from a favorite self-help author, perhaps, or
my
just
favorite
words of wisdom from your own soul, if you could drag such a
rejection.
thing out.
Rejection is just
Oh,
redirection. That's my
hey,
favorite saying. So
let's go with that. Kids, this has been Lexi Whiteside. Get on those socials, give her a like, give her a share. All the better. Go see her live and tell her I sent you.
oh, see you
Give
later.
it to
Have
her,
a good
Little.
evening. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye for now. And there she goes. Once again, one last time, as I always do for everyone, Lexi, Lexi Whiteside. You'll find the socials everywhere. She'll be gigging somewhere near you very soon. No doubt. She really is everywhere right now. She's on fire. 2 gigs in one day is not a problem for this girl. So go check her out. Go check her on the usual places, the YouTubes, and all of that. And for this week, as the sun sets slowly in the west, I'll bid you a fond farewell.